Time now for our chart of the day. Joining us for insight is Rachel Dashiell, Director and Regional Investment Strategist at Charles Schwab. All right, Rachel, I have heard Coinbase is one you really like to track. So let's start out with your shorter term look. I know it's not going to be a super short term look. And Coinbase has really been, the conversations around have been in the ether recently, given all the moves in crypto. But what stands out when it comes to this 1 year look at Coinbase?
Diane, you are correct. It's definitely one of the fun ones to track for me. So over the last year, Coin has had some choppy price action, but it's been forming a bullish basing pattern from those previous yearly highs to now yesterday's closing print near that $350 resistance. But however, price is trading roughly $6 above this yearly resistance and making new yearly highs so far in the pre-market session. But of course, we all know the day session is the only one that matters. But a couple other things to call out that build the bullish evidence in Coinbase. A golden cross took place yesterday as that resistance level was met, where that 50 period moving average crossed the 200 period moving average. And then even in addition to that, continuing to build that bullish evidence, when identifying those investments that are likely to attract more capital, looking at the relative strength of that investment to its benchmark is pretty helpful. So just looking in the last couple months, Coinbase has been outperforming Bitcoin, which suggests rotation into more crypto-related individual stocks versus that product itself, which has shown some short-term weakness. But like I said, the bullish evidence is surely stacking up here in this name. So we will need to just see where price opens, see if it opens above those previously yearly highs of 350, and that area will act as new support.
Okay, so then when we widen out and take a longer term perspective, let's take a look at a 4 year and see what does that tell us? What do you notice about that?
Diane, you know me too well. So zooming out is part of my process when analyzing these charts, because for many traders, you can glean a little bit more context where that price memory exists. And so over the last 4.5 years or so, I used a line chart in this case to just show the weekly closing prices, because I noticed such a consistency around how many weekly closes formed at the level of 342. So intra-week on a closing basis, we have seen a break above this long-term resistance, but we all know the week isn't over yet. So Friday's close will definitely be more telling for all of our Dow theorists out there. But throughout this 4.5 year period or so, another fractal massive cup and handle pattern or basing pattern is taking place. And some of my favorite legendary technicians always said, the bigger the base, the higher in space. So if this breakout holds, that next Fibonacci resistance on a closing basis would be that 138.2 level around 460. But to align a little bit more with the price target, even more aggressive, bullish breakout traders, just given the depth of that base, may look as far as the 168.8% retracement around 533, really exceeding that price target. But again, weekly close needs to occur above 342 for this bullish run to continue.
The bigger the base, the higher the space. I just learned a new one there, Rachel. And I have to give credit to our producers. They're the ones who knew that this is your favorite. So now I know. Now I know. All right, that's our Rachel Dashiell, Director and Regional Investment Strategist at Charles Schwab. Thank you, Rachel.